Hello, 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 and welcome to the Magic of Compound Recruiting, Chapter 10. This is a Cliff Notes version, and my name is Shanae Andrea, and we're going to be reviewing a system whereby building never stops. The hold a meeting system. The point here is to continually be building. You must constantly hold meetings. A meeting is any place where two or more people are gathered. The one-on-one opportunity meeting. This is one of the most important type of meetings to hold. You should be having these types of meetings all the time, a minimum of 4 to 5 days or nights per week. The result of this initial meeting will be to get a commitment to come to your opportunity meeting. Now, in addition to this, it might not be a one-on-one in-person meeting. You might utilize this in your particular project as a connection by telephone or possibly them looking at your information online. So any of those initial connections could be utilized as that one-on-one opportunity meeting. You want to make sure that during that time frame, you're focusing on who you're going to be looking towards, what you're going to be giving, what type of information you're going to be giving them, where those meetings might possibly be, and when, and then how. How to present a dynamic opportunity meeting. This is where the how comes in. The author believes that the opportunity meeting concept lies at the very heart of a successful business. The more people that you have at a meeting, it magically has a direct effect on the amount of sales produced by your base each month. Remembering the formula, average number of people per week at your opportunity meeting equals an average number of base shop sales per month. Now, the opportunity meeting is also designed to remotivate your existing team. So you want to make sure that you're making those calls and getting those individuals out to those meetings as well. Secondary purpose is to make sure that, again, we are selling the dream to the new recruits. We want to make sure that they see the bigness and the stability in the presentation. Preparation, always key. This element is critical to the success of your meeting, and the most important part of your preparation is to make sure you have as many people there as possible. If you have the ability to make calls to confirm attendance, that's fantastic. I think in most current projects, the job of getting your team to the meeting falls to the individual representative or the individual team lead. It is your job and the managers under your job to make sure that your team is coming out in numbers. Prepare to have a good meeting or you won't. All meetings should, in essence, begin on time and end promptly as well. And some additional top suggestions are to possibly bring your spouse or significant other, exposure to the top leaders with positive attitudes, be registered on the meeting law, introduction to the key speakers for that night, and made to feel welcome and properly seated. These are things that we want to make sure that our guests are coming in contact with, as well as are repeated on our resources, the people who are in the industry at this time. The magic of crowds. Your presentation should be dynamic as well as powerful. It should be conducted by the most enthusiastic and dynamic do-it-first leaders on a team. I can't tell you the energy that starts to happen in the room when those leaders start to come up. It doesn't matter how many times I have heard them or how many times I have possibly heard pieces of that presentation. Each and every time they approach the front of that room, it's almost like I'm new all over again. A large number of people creates a sense of urgency to get in and get going. The success of the meeting is determined by the number of people in attendance. Now let's talk about the presentation. You want the speaker to portray the following pieces: no pressure, sincerity and conviction, stability of company, crusade or the work, unlimited opportunity, freedom with responsibility, and believability. If I can't see that I am going to win in this situation, then it just isn't going to work. After the presentations, So, well, first, we want to say that the author does break down a suggested meeting agenda. And so those keys are the elements of the chapter so far brought into one space, from the welcome of the guests to the showing of the big picture. Now, after the presentation, we want to make sure that we don't just let those people slip away without trying to get their reaction or talking to them about what the next step might be. Monitor the numbers. You must learn to monitor your actual, and your post numbers at the opportunity meetings. If there is not a list of names and addresses of the people that attended the meeting and who invited them, then you have missed a great opportunity to follow up later. How the factory works. Now, the author gave this example of people being raw material who are brought to the plant, which is the processing site or the opportunity meeting. The builder, who is you, is the delivery vehicle, and you're going to be approaching the raw material, which are the people, and to supply it as the supply to get them to come to the processing site or the opportunity meeting. The builder then goes to the refueling station or the training classes. Once those classes have ended and they are now connected again at the end of the meeting, the eighth filter follow-up begins. So the first thing is to have the potential new business partner stay after the meeting. So it's a challenge to the prospect to remain afterward for a brief orientation, then take home information. So if you happen to have a packet that they can take home, making sure that they get that documentation in their hand. Next is to schedule a follow-up. If the prospect commits to a definite time within the next 24 to 48 hours to meet, then we know that you've got a very viable prospect. However, if by chance your project or opportunity allows for sign up right there on site, then we want to make sure that that again that gets done, as that is the ultimate indication of the commitment, which is the prospect sign up. Now that leads them to their leads or their list. So depending on, again, your project or your opportunity, it may be names, it may be a completion of a list of people, whatever that is, them getting that done and getting it done quickly. Number 6 is to determine immediate goals. So you know a person is committed when he or she can start to begin to tell you what it is that they want to accomplish. A fast start. If a prospect is willing to go into immediate action. And then client. Most new people will either purchase or experience their own product. So in many different cases, they are, in order for them to be able to begin to show other people what it is now doing for them, they have to experience it themselves. Review the results. Hold a weekly managers meeting to review the past week's program and plan for the upcoming weeks. And now some additional detailed points. So the first is going to be pushing up people. You must take that pure business concept of getting raw material to the plant and understand that that raw material is still human beings who must be treated with respect. Cranking it out is one of the purposes of implementing a system is to make sure that individuals do not quit. So we want to make sure that we continue to keep going, following the process, following the guidelines, following the systems that are put in place, allow it to be an ease to you so that we do not fall into a level of quitting. And then the buddy system. Make sure that each of your new people receives proper training. Treat each new team member as if he or she were going to be a lifetime leader. And that means making sure that they are properly trained. And then finally, we come into our building principle for this chapter, and that is to work with those who deserve it, not just those who need it. Everyone needs your help, but you can't spend all your time working with people who will not meet you halfway by putting forth effort of their own. Every leader must make that distinction. And I also want to add just a little tidbit here and to say that make sure you're not overlooking people. There might be people on your team who are giving it 100%, and because you don't see whatever progression or process that they may be doing, you tend to overlook them or leave them where they are. And those are, again, some key and important people on your team. I hope that you have found value in this information. We are just a few short chapters away of being completely done with this book. So, as that is a wonderful thing, it's also a little bit bittersweet. Bittersweet. I have enjoyed sharing this information and going through it with you. If you are interested in knowing how I am helping customers as well as individuals and families to become free in finances, free in their time, free with their personal development, please reach out to me. My information is included. I am so willing to have that conversation with you. Thank you so much. I'll be talking to you soon. Have a great day. Bye bye.